Men of high value. These are 5 things you should never say to a woman. Imagine that every word you speak is like a tool that can either help you build your image and keep your power, or it can hurt the respect and love people have for you. What if I told you there are 5 things that you can do to change that? 5 things you should never tell a woman. These 5 things have the power to shape or destroy your relationships. If you want to be seen as strong, confident, and in charge, watch this video. Part 2. Don't show how weak you are early on. Don't show your weaknesses right away. Every man has flaws, but when and if you tell a woman about them matters more than most people think. In the early stages of a relationship, it's important to show that you're strong because attraction is often based on perception, and the perception of confidence drives desire. In the beginning, a woman is trying to figure out who you are and what you're made of. If the first thing she learns about you is your flaws, she will start to doubt your stability. The truth is that being honest about your problems doesn't make you more relatable or cute. Women prefer men who can manage their emotions independently and don't require emotional support. Men of high worth first show how strong they are, and only after building trust do they show how vulnerable they are. She needs to see that you can handle life's problems without breaking down. Under pressure. Telling her too much too soon changes not only how she sees you, but also the balance of power. Early honesty about your flaws gives her an advantage, even if she is unaware of it. She starts to see holes in your armor and wonders if you can lead yourself and, by extension, her. You've transitioned from being the confident individual to one who is grappling with self-discovery. Also, people naturally judge others based on what they're presented with. If the first thing she learns about you is what you're lacking, she'll have a harder time seeing your strengths later. This isn't about being fake or withholding information. It's about how you should present yourself so that you earn her respect. Once you've done that, you can gradually open up about your problems. By then, you'll have demonstrated your ability to navigate life's challenges, and people will view your vulnerability as a strength. Let's get even. Would strength rather than weakness mean more? Just as you shouldn't show your weaknesses to protect your image, you should also keep the relationship psychologically balanced. If you share too much too soon, she might feel more like your therapist or caretaker than your partner, which is not what high-value men do. Your partner should be someone who makes your life better, not someone you dump your problems on because you can't handle them yourself. Think of your weaknesses as a fortress. A fortress only opens its gates when it's ready, when the defenses are strong, and when the time is right. Until then, the walls remain impenetrable. You need to be that fortress, strong, reliable, and calm, until she's earned the right to know what's inside. This approach not only earns your respect, but it also keeps her interested in learning more about you at the core level. Because guys are emotionally independent, they solve their own problems before involving other people. When you open up, make sure you do it at the right time and in a way that makes her see it as a sign of trust, not weakness. Section 2. Don't tell her your exact plans for the future. As an ambitious man, you're constantly considering your next steps, but it's important to remember not to reveal your exact plans to her. If you're just starting out, don't tell a woman everything you have planned for the future. You might think that telling her your plans will surprise her, but it takes away something important that women like: mystery. Once you give her all the information she needs, you stop being the interesting, unexpected man she's interested in and start being someone whose next move she can guess. Mystery is important because it keeps her interested. When she's uncertain about your next move, she constantly contemplates you and wonders about your activities, thereby sustaining the spark. Because women are naturally curious, they want to figure out the mystery that is you. If you take away the mystery, you take away a big part of what keeps her interested, and she'll lose some of her attraction. If you follow these rules, you'll keep the relationship going, strong and dynamic, and keep up a level of respect and love. Plan ahead, be patient, and be sure of yourself when you talk to people. This will help you build positive relationships that last based on mutual respect. You should trust the psychological depth of mystery and power in relationships. There's also a higher psychological value to this. Men know that telling everyone about every part of their plans can make them less powerful. For example, if you were a general in the military, you wouldn't tell everyone your entire battle plan if they asked. It would weaken your position and leave you open to weaknesses. In the same way, if you tell someone about your plans too soon, she may start questioning your choices, giving you unsolicited advice, or even unintentionally working against your goals. Manage the direction of your life. It's also important to keep control of the direction of your life. If you don't tell anyone about your plans for the future, you can adapt and change course without affecting anyone else. Life is like a chess game. Your real power lies in your ability to transcend other people's expectations or views. Do not change your plans. Close your life like a chess game. A grandmaster never shows his next move until he's ready to attack. This is the key to living strategically. By keeping your plans secret, you not only stay in charge, but you also project power. Having faith. When a man talks about his whole future, he's probably trying to get approval or agreement on what he should do next. Important men don't need anyone to approve of them. They make their own way, no matter what other people think. Do not speak as you move. Stick to your plans. Being private also prevents potential sadness or criticism from occurring. So let's say you tell everyone about your big goals, but things don't go as planned. In addition to managing your personal feelings of failure, you also need to consider the opinions of others. This adds extra stress. Instead, move quietly and let your actions speak for you. By the time anyone notices what you've done, you'll have reached your goal, and your success will be yours, untainted by their expectations or input. Independence pulls you in. Independence is magnetic, so don't make any plans. Encourages independence. By maintaining confidentiality, you demonstrate to her and the world that you are capable of managing your life independently and don't require assistance from others to achieve your objectives. This sense of independence attracts women. It shows her that you are your own man and don't care what other people think. It also shows her that you are in charge of your own life. Third, never talk about you. Never talk about your money problems. Having money problems. Money is one of the most sensitive topics in any relationship, but high-value guys need a plan before discussing it. For most women, having money problems, especially early on, can have a big effect on how they see you. Financial stability isn't just about having a lot of money, it's also about feeling safe. If you show signs of financial instability, it makes people worry about whether you can give them that safety. Women want to be stable. This isn't about being shallow. Women naturally look for partners who can provide emotional and financial stability. It's in our genes. If you talk about your financial problems, even if you're working to get better, it can make her doubt your ability to handle future problems. If things get tough, she might start to wonder if you're the kind of man who can lead and provide. Present money problems as stepping stones. It doesn't mean you have to hide who you really are or act like you're not, but high-value men know how to handle these kinds of conversations. For example, instead of seeing your money problems as a struggle, see them as a way to get to something bigger. This will show her that you're not defined by your problems, but by your ability to overcome them. You're not just talking about what's wrong, you're actively working on building your future. Money is more than just money. It's a sign of power, control, and freedom. If you talk about your money problems in public, it can make her think you lack one of these important things, which can lower her opinion of your total worth. It's not necessary to be rich, but you should appear financially savvy and in control. Discuss your financial situation with positivity, even if you're not where you want to be. Being strong and clever. Don't. If you talk about your money problems too soon, it can throw off the balance of power in the relationship. If she thinks you're relying on her for money or emotional support because of your stress over money, it can change the balance of power in ways that aren't good for a high-value man. You want to be the leader in your life and relationships, so relying on her for money or emotional support can weaken your position. Keep control of your personal and financial situation. Being sure of yourself and not depending on others are two things that people admire and want in you. Men of high value. Understand that taking care of these aspects of life and planning when to do them will help them stay strong, independent, and in control of their relationships. Don't let money problems make you doubt yourself. You may struggle to get past a woman who thinks you don't control her money if you discuss it. Instead, focus on the good things. You may not have everything you want financially right now, but as a high-value man, you're always trying to get better, and you have a plan. It's not about impressing her with money. It's about showing her that you're on a path to financial freedom and that you're not easily shaken by temporary setbacks. When it comes to talking about money, less is more. Keep your financial situation private until you've built trust in the relationship. A man of high value doesn't complain about his money. He does something about it. Instead of talking about your money problems, talk about your goals, plans, and progress. That's what will earn you respect and keep it. Part 4. Never confess. Intrigue in the relationship. Don't talk about your fears. I understand how you feel. We all do. Everyone has some kind of self-doubt. But as a high-value man, you need to know how damaging it can be to talk about your insecurities, especially with a woman you want to impress or build a relationship with. The harsh reality is that discussing your insecurities conveys a sense of vulnerability. Not stable confidence is one of the most attractive qualities in a man, and the moment you show your insecurities, you immediately weaken that foundation. Consider whether you would follow a leader who openly doubted his ability. You'd start to wonder if that leader could handle tough situations, and you'd feel less confident doing so. In a relationship, telling a woman about your insecurities sends the message that you don't fully believe in yourself, which makes it easy for her to lose faith in you as well. It's important to remember that women don't want to be your emotional crutch. They want a man who can stand strong on his own. That doesn't mean you should never be vulnerable or open up, but timing and context are everything. In the beginning, you should focus on showing her your strength and confidence. Building trust allows you to share your deeper thoughts, yet maintaining the right balance is crucial. Avoid being the guy who constantly seeks reassurance. Proof of your love can push her away. Validation can push her away. In fact, constantly seeking comfort or validation from a woman can drive her away more quickly than anything else. Women want to feel safe in a relationship, and part of that safety comes from knowing that the man they're with is emotionally stable. Telling her about your insecurities gives her emotional control over you, which, whether she realizes it or not, alters her perception of you. Instead of seeing you as a rock, she might start to see you as someone she needs to take care of emotionally, which is not a position you want to be in as a high-value man. It's not about pretending that you don't have feelings. A lot of high-value men work on their insecurities alone, and they don't look for sympathy from other people. This is the source of true strength. Confronting your insecurities head-on, without seeking validation from others, demonstrates to the world your mastery over your own thoughts and emotions. Self-improvement leads to growth. Another deeper truth is that when you don't talk about your fears, you actually make room for growth. By not constantly talking about what you think are your flaws, you give yourself the chance to work on them. Men of true value know they're not perfect, but they're always trying to get better. They don't just sit around and complain about their flaws, they do something about it. That's what makes you stand out as a man of true value. Section 5. Don't talk about your past mistakes too soon. Everyone has a past, and with that past comes mistakes. But here's the thing, as a high-value man, failures don't make you who you are. How you deal with them does. When it comes to relationships, especially in the beginning, you should be careful about when and how you talk about your past mistakes. Talking too much about your mistakes early in a relationship can make you seem less competent, less capable, and ultimately less attractive. Don't let your past define you. That doesn't mean you should hide your mistakes. There's a time and a place for everything, but if you start talking about your mistakes too soon, you risk coming across as a man who can't get things right. Women are naturally drawn to successful men, and if you spend too much time talking about what went wrong, you're telling her, "This is who I used to be, and maybe I still am." People who are interested in you will see that you are growing and taking positive steps in your life. This makes you seem like someone who can handle problems and keep moving forward no matter what. Women. Your strength, faith, and ability to get back on track after setbacks. Instead of talking about past mistakes, focus on current successes and future potential. No need to be perfect, just show that you've improved from your mistakes. A very good deal. The psychological aspect is that men accept their mistakes, but don't dwell on them. They move forward with confidence, knowing that every mistake was a lesson, not a character flaw. When you talk about your mistakes too soon, it throws off her perception of you. Instead of seeing the strong, capable man you are now, she may start to think about the person you were when you made those mistakes. The truth is that many people, whether they are aware of it or not, judge others based on their past. It's unfair, but it's human nature. By keeping that information from her until the right time, you give her a chance to see your strengths first. Talking about your past will present it in a more positive light. Failure and feelings of failed attempts and mental baggage. Also, talking about failures can make you look like you have emotional baggage. When discussing past mistakes or failed relationships, it can seem like you haven't learned from them. Women prefer partners who are forward-thinking, not those mired in the past. If you keep your failures to yourself at first, you appear to be a man focused on the future rather than the past. Every success story includes failure, but the way you discuss it significantly influences the outcome. Instead of talking about your mistakes as things that happened to you, talk about how they helped you become the man you are today. When discussing your past, men don't portray themselves as victims. Instead, they own their experiences and use them to make them better. Think of your mistakes as challenges that pushed you to success, not as regrets that hold you back. This is the power of conclusion, silence, and strength. How strong and highly valued is man? The things he doesn't say are even more important than the things he does say. When used carefully, silence can be one of your best weapons. It helps you stay in charge, gain respect, and maintain an air of mystery that keeps women interested by not giving away too much too soon, whether it's your weakness or your plans. You protect your image and mental power by hiding your problems, like money problems, insecurities, or past failures. Important men know that self-control is a virtue. They know that not all feelings and thoughts should be shared, and they know that privacy is important for keeping respect and attraction. Don't lie to control your story. Speaking has more weight, and sharing something personal is an honor, not a burden. The less you share, the more power you keep, and that's what drives a high-value man.